Welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're here to give you a whip-around look at some of the latest news coming out of the sports betting industry. This week in our state and national reports, we've got April benchmarks to talk about, as well as some May information from the New York Gaming Commission.
Okay.
Over in our deals section, we've got deals involving a news agency, and I'll say it right now, the Associated Press.
Yes.
We've got a mixed martial arts deal to talk about, and we've also got another drag racing deal to talk about.
Wow, what's going on with drag racing?
2 weeks in a row.
Making the news. All right.
Industry updates, we've got our normal roundup of licenses, launches, and now closings as well.
All right.
And then we're going to finish up with our legislative roundup with news coming out of Minnesota, Rhode Island, and New York. We're going to start talking state and national reports right after this.
Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be debt-free faster than you think.
I knew we had to do something. Our debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called, and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing, and now we're back in control.
Call now, and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. Call Debt Fix Pros right now at 800-479-3522. That's 800-479-3522. 800-479-3522.
Attention. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, watch this urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by hiring 87,000 new agents to garnish your paycheck and put liens on homes and businesses. They can even seize your bank account. The IRS calls it enforced compliance, and now they have the manpower to get you. Penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily. So call One Stop Tax Relief Shop and get the IRS off your back. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. And no other tax shop gets you more or faster approvals. One Stop Tax Relief has resolved thousands of cases since 2014 and saved clients millions of dollars. Call now for a free consultation. Connect with tax professionals who get the IRS off your back.
Call 800-605-0688. 800-605-0688.
One Stop Tax Relief Shop.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. We're going to start off in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
They released their April sports betting numbers, and according to the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania's fiscal year-to-date handle passed $7 billion.
Nice.
Fiscal year-to-date gross gaming revenue, $600 million.
All right.
And the fiscal year-to-date adjusted gaming revenue, which is when you remove all the promos and other deductions.
All the bonuses and things
exactly.
like that. Yep.
$400 million.
All right.
ESPN Bet had its best month ever in Pennsylvania. They had $40 million in handles, $3.7 million in revenue. The important thing was they had a 9.2% hold.
Okay. I saw them advertising on a Phillies game. I was watching the Phillies game, and they had the ESPN Bet right behind the batters.
Yes.
So they're everywhere.
Well, considering Penn Entertainment's goal was to have 7% hold nationwide, 9% hold is very good.
Yeah.
3 retail books in the state also had negative revenue in April. Moving over to Michigan.
By the way, that's a very classy move of you not mentioning their names.
Thank you. I thought so.
So you know who you are.
Yes.
So
Michigan reported their April numbers as well. We've got Michigan reporting that the $1.93 billion handle through the first 4 months of 2024. It's up about 20% from the previous year.
I got to tell you, Michigan's an amazing gaming market. I haven't been to Michigan in maybe, 10 years? And I would think, where was I, Lansing, Michigan, or something like that? And first off, great state, very, very cold.
Yes.
Amazingly cold, one of the colder states in the union, but it's such a great gaming market. Great casinos, great online casinos, great sports betting. It's Online poker has that, so that's great.
Well, Michigan will rear its head later on in the report as well.
Okay.
Yep.
More great news, I hope, for Michigan.
Well, we'll move on and go to FanDuel. FanDuel
Is that
for
a big old
Michigan.
no? Or okay, FanDuel for Michigan. Go ahead.
Record at least $20 million in revenue in 4 of the last 7 months. Moving over to Louisiana, we've got their April report. Louisiana report that's all-time gross gaming revenue past $750 million. It's the 5th straight month. Parlay revenue in the state has passed the $20 million mark.
Okay.
So they're fascinated with parlays in Louisiana, too.
Louisiana is one of those very interesting sports betting states where every parish, or as other places call them, counties, not all of them allow sports betting. So it's a very interesting market to look at.
Yes.
Very dynamic market.
Yes. Over in New Hampshire, we've got their April report. All-time mobile handle in New Hampshire has passed $2.45 billion already.
Only online sports betting there in New Hampshire.
No, they have retail.
Do they?
Yeah.
Really? Who's the only one with
They've got a bunch of different restaurants with kiosks as well as.
do you really?
You got to consider them as
Come on.
yes, and
All
also
right.
we just talked about the Brook last week,
Sure,
which is in New
sure.
Hampshire.
Yeah.
They have a DraftKings race and sports book there.
Yeah.
So there's retail betting.
Yeah, New Hampshire is a very interesting gaming market. You know, they have poker rooms, but they're charity poker rooms.
Everything is charity. Casinos are charity.
You know, it's very.
It's charitable gaming.
I don't want to say strange, but it's a very unique market.
Yes. Over in Kansas, we've got their April sports betting report. Fiscal year-to-date handle has passed $2 billion. Fiscal year-to-date revenue passed $98 million.
Mm-hmm.
Over in North Carolina, they reported their first full month of sports betting activity.
Oh, okay. They had their full month.
Yes.
Okay.
From mid-March to the end of April, handle was $1.31 billion already.
Okay.
That's a good amount of money being
Okay.
wagered
Yeah. What?
there.
Wait. I think I remember this. Was it March 11th?
March 16th.
March 16th? They started. No. Was it?
It was
because
March
I know it was
16th.
right before.
I believe it was March 16th. It was right before a lot of them
It
launched.
was right before March Madness. So why do I have March 11th stuck in my head? So
I think that was like a soft launch or something.
maybe
Yeah,
I don't
something,
know.
but I remember March 16th
what-
sticking
yeah.
out there for some
Yeah,
reason.
what happened on March 11th? I have to go back in my notes. Might not even be
I
them.
think that was
Something happened on March 11th.
I think that
don't
was
know.
the legal date it started.
Oh, okay.
So, and gross gaming revenue through the end of April, $172 million. So that is quickly becoming a very good market.
Yep, absolutely.
Over in D.C., the District of Columbia also reported their April numbers. This is also the first month of FanDuel operating with the D.C. lottery instead of Gambit D.C.
Gambit, yep.
We have a record handle for the district in overall, $26.65 million.
Nice. Okay.
FanDuel reported $15.8 million.
Okay.
And this was actually kind of reported from a different couple places here, but $15.6 million handle came within 136,000 of matching March's entire handle for the district.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Caesar Sportsbook also recorded its first monthly loss in D.C. Mm-hmm. And Cloakroom.
I was going to ask my my favorite sports book, Cloakroom, which is I guess a sports betting establishment in a gentleman's club.
The over-under sports bar.
The over-under sports bar. Where
In the
I
Cloakroom.
see an over-under. I don't know if it was them or it was another company called Over-Under, but there were people wearing over-under
Sports bar.
T-shirts
Sports bar.
in.
That was them.
It was
them.
them. It was them.
That was at SBC.
Yeah. I saw them walking around over-under. Is that the Cloakroom?
Yes.
Oh, man. Okay.
They reported a $18,000 handle.
It's hard to go up to someone.
Yes.
Hey, are you the gentleman's club?
Yes,
Or,
exactly.
God forbid you're wrong.
Yeah.
You know? it's like going up to
Try
a woman
not
and
to
saying,
think about that.
congratulations on your pregnancy, and she's not pregnant. So that's kind of the situation.
But they had a
that
good
it
month. 18,000 handle,
Good.
2,800 in revenue.
Good for them.
Over in New York, we're going to finish up our state and national reports as always with the state of New York. They reported their mobile numbers for the week ending May 19th. All-time mobile handle with that report past 44 billion.
Wow.
For the mobile handle.
Wow.
That doesn't include any retail, so
Just the mobile handle.
just the mobile handle, $44 billion handle. 6 of the 9 operators reported at least $1 million in revenue, which is a good showing there.
Yes, very good.
FanDuel 18 billion all-time handle. They passed that mark.
Okay.
950 million all-time tax revenue paid to the state, and 400 million in year-to-date revenue for the operator in the state of New York.
Now, DraftKings had a good string of number ones.
They did not. No.
They did not. Okay,
No.
they fell.
FanDuel came back.
FanDuel came back. Yeah. FanDuel came back with a fury, huh?
Yes.
All right.
That's it for the state and national reports. Let's head on over to some deals. BetMGM announced an agreement with the Associated Press, naming the sports betting operator and also the iGaming operator the official sports odds provider for the news network.
Nice. Good.
This is on a global level. So AP will be using BetMGM's odds and lines throughout its various formats, but also AP will retain editorial control of all the content.
Okay.
The sports betting operator will have its odds appear in AP's daily sports odds fixtures, game previews, other sports stories that include odds. And BetMGM comes in replacing FanDuel, which had been the partner for AP since 2021.
Okay.
Over in the compliance area, we have Integrity Compliance 360, or IC360, announcing a strategic partnership with Lights Out Xtreme Fighting MMA League.
Okay.
The LXF, not to be confused with the XFL.
LXF.
Right, Lights Out Extreme Fighting.
Lights out. Oh, they just kept the O out.
Right.
For the, okay.
Well, they made it one worder.
Okay.
Or they put a dash on it or something.
LXF.
Yes.
All right.
That's the MMA league formed by All-Pro NFL linebacker Sean Merriman.
Nice. Good.
Partnership will also include the Alert 360 component of IC360's compliance dashboard, which is the hotline service.
Oh, great. Good.
Yeah, so fans, athletes, and staff can report integrity-related concerns through Alert 360 to LXF promotions.
Very important component,
Yes.
I think.
Last story of the week here for deals, we have Alt Sports Data. Now, we talked about the National Hot Rodding Association,
Oh, okay.
the
Is this
NHRA launching
Yeah,
play
is this
NHRA.
the other drag racing? Okay.
Yeah, this is the NHRA again.
All right.
The NHRA has done a partnership with Alt Sports Data, making Alt Sports Data the exclusive distributor of sports betting data from their drag racing series. Basically real-time statistics, odds, other betting insights for fans of the sport, and also potential wagerers. I haven't seen anybody allow NHRA on their wagering menu statewide.
I have not looked at that yet. I
haven't
know-
seen them listed anywhere.
You would
on
think
any
if they
states.
allow car racing, they would allow drag racing. I don't.
Well, again, it's a matter of
And they probably,
Yeah.
there are probably states that do it. I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
believe it. I can't. Hey, if I can bet on an eating contest, I
again-
should be able to bet on drag racing.
again, you have to apply to the states to be included.
Sure, I
and
understand.
I have not seen NHRA in any of the listings for the motorsports sections.
I have to take a look. They could be. I don't know. Probably. I
But
don't
there,
know.
there could also be other drag racing series already
yeah,
on there too.
yeah.
So it's not just drag
I'm not a
racing.
big drag racing guy, so I haven't really paid attention. Maybe I'll go take a look.
I wonder how they're handled by some states because when you have like an esports situation, you have to go tournament by tournament in some states. I wonder if they'd have to do series by series.
Let me ask you: is there fantasy drag racing?
Oh yeah.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what
All
when we talked about it last week, Play NHRA included not just wagering but also fantasy points.
Yeah, I mean, but would also
I don't know who offers fantasy
Okay.
drag racing. Maybe
Because-
maybe NHRA does.
because one of the big components of what a lot of gaming commissions have a problem with is the head-to-head in sports. With these fantasy companies, it's almost like a prop bet. When it's drag racing, it's only two people.
Well, no. You're confusing.
No, I'm confusing.
You're
Okay,
confusing
what am I doing here?
What the states have an issue with the fantasy sports is if it's one customer who's playing the fantasy sports against the house. Peer-to-peer, no one has a problem with.
Well, yeah, but but
I mean, it
drag
could fall
racing, you could do it.
Well,
We
no.
play the house.
If you're doing two racers, that's fine. That's legal under
Okay.
fantasy. If it was one racer and you were betting against a house, like an over/under, where it's just one racer.
Okay,
that's where
the fantasy comes.
that's
as
where
a problem.
that's where it becomes sports betting.
Okay.
In the eyes of a lot of states.
Okay.
So that it's not peer-to-peer is not the issue. It's the player versus the house.
All right.
Which is the
Okay.
issue. Now the other problem is you just mentioned peer-to-peer. If this gets closer and closer to a betting exchange situation, that's where you may have some issues. But right now, if it's peer-to-peer, it's not a problem again. But we're talking this deal with Alt Sports Data is for sports betting only. The Play NHRA covers both sports betting and fantasy sports for the sport.
Good.
That's it for the deals this week. Let's start talking some industry updates right after this.
Imagine if you lost 20, 30, 40, or even 50 pounds or more right away. Would you be more attractive to the opposite sex? Feel better? Sleep better? If you've tried to lose weight in the past and repeatedly failed, then you need to know about a true game-changer medication. Semaglutide is FDA approved. It can produce quick and easy results. Call the number on your screen now for free info. This is the last diet you'll ever go on. Finally lose the weight and keep it off. There's no pain, no surgery, no exercise plan, no starvation, no fasting, no silly meal prep. In fact, you can continue to eat the foods you love. Pause this screen and take down this number or store it in your cell phone. But call today for free information. The Advanced Medical Weight Loss Program is physician-based and works with your body naturally to create the feeling of being full. This is not just about losing weight. This is about what your life can become as a thinner you. Call the number on your screen now for free info. Finally lose the weight and keep it off. Look great this summer, but hurry. There's a huge demand for this product and shortages may occur at any time. Call the number on your screen now for free information.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. We're going to start off in New Mexico, our industry update segment. Caesars has opened 2 retail sportsbook in the state, one at Route 66 Casino, which is west of Albuquerque, New Mexico, for those geographically disinclined, and the Dancing Eagle Casino, which is east of Grants, New Mexico.
Oh, I like that name, Dancing Eagle.
Dancing Eagle?
Yeah, that's a good
well,
name.
as you can tell, it's a Native American.
Dancing Eagle. Yep.
Route 66 Casino already had sports betting back in 2019. This is the first time they're having Caesars involved with their operation. And also the Dancing Eagle Casino never had sports betting, so this is a new addition for them. It joins their 400 slot machines and their bingo parlor.
Nice. Okay,
Dancing
good.
Eagle is one of the bingo parlors over there.
That I have to check one of those out.
Bingo parlors?
Yeah, we don't have bingo parlors in New Jersey.
Drive up to Connecticut.
Do they have
Foxwoods?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think I think I peeked in one time.
Well, Foxwoods started out as a bingo hall.
Yeah.
And I remember there was also talk on Martha's Vineyard. One of the first things that they wanted to do in the area where the airfield was build a bingo hall. Mm-hmm. They still haven't gotten permission to do anything out there, but yeah, Foxwoods is the closest bingo hall that we have here.
Okay.
Over in Nebraska, we've got Harrah's Columbus opening up. Harrah's Columbus, Nebraska Racing and Casino, which is Caesars Entertainment's first venture into Nebraska.
Okay.
First time it's opened the doors, opening day guests got commemorative T-shirts. Then they were able to go and play on the slots and the table games, and also the Caesars Race and Sportsbook.
Nice.
Which is there.
Good.
This is the first time Caesars is taking bets in Nebraska. So that was a landmark day for Caesars.
Wow. Okay.
First jackpot at the new casino was hit at 10:14 a.m.
Already?
It was a small one. It was $1,876 on the Power Push, whatever that is.
You said jackpot. I was thinking, about $1 million.
Big one,
no. Yeah. No. Okay.
One other interesting feature of Harrah's Columbus, Nebraska, will be the addition of a 1-mile racetrack, which will be the longest racetrack in the state for horse racing.
Okay. Good.
Over in Wisconsin, we've got the Potawatomi Casino. We talked last week that they had just had their grand opening of the largest sports book in the Midwest on their property. They are now in the process of developing an on-premise mobile app for sports betting.
Okay.
So, again, this would be
How far does that extend? I mean, if you're the last parking spot on the property, will you be able to place a bet from there, or do you have to be actually closer to the building?
Funny you should say that.
Okay, all right.
They actually clarified that in the press release.
Okay, good.
The app will be geofenced to the casino building.
Okay, all right.
So
good.
I don't know if it reaches out into the parking lot.
Probably not if it's the building. It's amazing what they can do with these geofencing. It's just, it's so precise now.
Yeah.
I mean, when we started in 2013 in New Jersey, it was, I don't want to say it was primitive, but it was in its early stages of being fine-tuned like what it is now.
Well, not like Louisiana either.
Well, like I said, Louisiana, different parishes, or like I said, what we call them counties, some don't allow sports betting. So the geofencing has to be really good, and it is. It's just absolutely amazing, this technology.
And Potawatomi hopes to have the app launched within 8 months.
Okay.
Over in Nevada, we've got Entain receiving an unconditional approval to operate in the state.
Yep.
The approval was granted on May 1st and then formally issued on May 16th. Entain had been operating in the state for the last 5 years under temporary licenses from the Gaming Control Board. The statements from the Gaming Commission were the concerns about Entain operating in unregulated markets in other parts of the world.
Okay.
And that's one of the reasons why you see Entain dumping some unregulated markets from their portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
So now they have a unconditional license to operate in the state. Going over to Maryland, we got 2 stories from Maryland. The Maryland Board of Public Works approved an agreement to transfer ownership of the Pimlico Racecourse from the Stronach Group to the state of Maryland.
Okay.
The agreement guarantees that the Preakness stays in Baltimore,
okay,
as well as making Pimlico the year-round home of horse racing in the state. The state will be leasing Laurel Park starting January 1st, 2025, from the Stronach Group, because there's going to be construction on the new Pimlico racetrack starting then, and they're going to be leasing it from the Stronach Group. Laurel Park, they're going to be leasing it from the Stronach Group for $1 a year for 3 years while the construction's going on. At the end of that 3-year term, Stronach Group will retain ownership of Laurel Park and do it what they want. They can do it for a non-racing location as well.
Okay, all right.
The agreement also includes the transfer of rights from the Preakness, the actual race itself, from Stronach to the Maryland Thoroughbred Racetrack Operating Authority.
Good.
So basically the state's going to own not just the track, but the race.
The Preakness, yeah.
Yes.
So, boy, a lot of construction and horse racing. Well, the Belmont, too. They're
going to be redoing the grandstands and the
I guess
tracks
all the
and
races are going to be over in
Saratoga.
Saratoga,
Yes. Staying in Maryland, we have Better, BETR. Not the Australian one, but the American one. There's 2 Betters, by the way, just so people know that. This Better received approval from the Maryland Lottery Commission to receive a sports betting license in the state. Still has a lot of hoops and hurdles to go through to get to the operational stage, but they did receive approval from the Maryland Lottery to go and get a sports betting license.
Well, that's a big first step.
Yes, that's a necessary first step in Maryland.
That is the first step.
Yes. And finally, for the industry updates segment, we've got Michigan. We got Evoke, which is formerly 888 Holdings. Evoke is their new brand.
Okay.
They announced that the Sports Illustrated brand of casino gaming and iGaming and sports betting will be out of the state by the end of 2024.
All right.
That reduces Michigan to 14 online casinos operating in the state, and that means one spot will open up for another company to come in. Everyone's speculating it'll be Hard Rock.
Oh, okay. Great.
That's it for industry updates. We'll finish up with our legislative roundup. Starting off our legislative roundup, we're going to be starting in the state of Minnesota. All the high hopes for Minnesota's sports betting legalization has been ended because they didn't even discuss it on the last day.
Yeah, it's amazing that Minnesota doesn't have it. So,
well, according to all analysts, the 2024 will be the first year since the overturn of PASPA where there will not be a state legalizing sports betting through legislation.
Wow. Okay.
there will be expansions like Missouri and Washington, D.C. are looking at expanding their markets, so we'll see what happens there, but there will be no legalization of sports betting in 2024.
Wow. Okay. Well, we knew it was going to level off a bit. There's a limited amount of states and jurisdictions, so, it's got to, cool off a little bit.
Well, the one thing I
it's
can't
surprising that right now it is. I mean, certainly Minnesota was shocking.
See, I can't be that definite as some of these other analysts because there's always special sessions that you can call.
Yeah, I don't know.
And sports betting seems to be one of those ones that creates the opportunity for a special session to come into play. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
But the lawmakers in Minnesota did ban historic horse racing machines at the state's racetracks.
Oh,
so
okay.
Good move.
Right. Not only are we not going to allow sports betting, we're going to ban historic horse racing machines.
Over in Rhode Island.
Enjoy.
Yes. Over in Rhode Island, we don't talk Rhode Island too much in terms of legislation.
I like Rhode Island. Rhode Island's doing great thing in the gaming world.
Well, there's a bill that was introduced that is causing a lot of conversations and raised eyebrows. They've introduced a bill to increase the gambling credit limit at the two casinos.
Okay.
From 50 to 100,000.
All right.
According to the committee members who introduced the bill, they have been hearing from players that they can't get the same betting limits that they get in states like Massachusetts. You say the word Massachusetts to a Rhode Island legislator, they're going to actually do something.
Sure.
So, but again, it's a $100,000 limit for. It's an increase of gambling credit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They only right now offer 50,000, so not everyone is able to get it.
Well, if they want to be competitive in the market, they kind of have to, look what other people are doing and, see how they can work within that to make their businesses successful. So,
well, they also made sure that they carved out it's just for people gambling at a casino. It's not extended to iGaming.
Yes.
Not yet. At some point, they're going to do that.
Because Rhode Island does have online casinos.
Yes. So. But again, you're probably going to see that at some point.
Yeah.
But right now, it's just in-person gambling.
The big casino brand in Rhode Island is Bally's, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Well, right now, you're dealing with Massachusetts, which does not have a credit limit. Mm-hmm. And the two casinos in Connecticut are on tribal lands, so they do whatever they want. They can control whatever limit they give anybody.
Yeah.
So Rhode Island has to take steps to do something.
Yeah, if you want to be competitive, yeah.
And our last story of the week comes from New York.
All right.
Senator Joseph Adabo, again. Yeah. Anytime you're dealing with gambling, it's Joseph Adabo.
Doing a great job.
And Assemblyman Gary Pretlow. They are pushing a proposed law in the state that would require bids for the New York casinos to be submitted by July 31st of this year, and then a decision made by March 31st of 2025. Now, right now, as it stands, the state is looking at doing everything in 2025.
Yeah.
So they're taking their time with it. I don't blame them.
No. First they got to pick a spot. I've been hearing downstate casinos, which is a fancy term for New York City casinos.
Area. New York City area.
I've been hearing, Times Square, where the Mets play, City Field. They want a casino there. UN, which, by the way, traffic is terrible right now. Yeah. I can't even imagine a casino there.
You also have those issues going on with Nassau, where the sands over there.
Yeah, something happened
going through
there.
Court.
They're going through court. So,
there's a lawsuit against them regarding the alleged going around some statements and things for getting the zoning issues resolved, all that stuff, lease questions, all that. It's actually, I don't see a problem with this bill, but again, it's a matter of whether or not they want to move that quickly.
Well, look,
I don't think they're ready to move this quickly.
Well, look, they got to get it going. I mean, they can't.
I think that's what this bill is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those guys did a great job up there, and they're, make a lot of people in New Jersey nervous in the casino industry, but I think they're handling it perfectly. It has to get done.
That's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. If you've been watching on TV, the ticker's been flying by with additional news stories we didn't have a chance to cover in this half hour. And as always, when this show is released on Monday mornings, the full print version of the ticker will be released on our blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button. You will see a full print version of the book report, which includes stories we did talk about, stories we didn't talk about, stories in the ticker, all in print version there. So please head on over to the blog to see the additional content there. And press releases, info@turnpikesportsradio.com. Keep those coming in. We're getting more and more every week, and love to hear from everybody out in the industry.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.